challenges, in our opinion, seem to have overwhelmed our security institutions.
The governors are supposed to be the state security officers of their state.
There is need for us to at least engage the traditional rulers.
We need to do something about our porous borders.
We have to own it from the unit level to the ward level to the local government to state.
Mr. President, the importance of today for us is for us to take action.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Number 1, the establishment of the University of Aerospace and Aeronautics.
Before the recess, Senate passes bill to establish Aeronautics University.
I'm also commending the President of Nigeria today, President Muhammadu Buhari.
And Senate Committee on Public Petitions commends President Buhari and Senate President for synergy amongst senators. Welcome to the program Inside the Senate, and I am your regular anchor, Hussaina Amina Aboki. As the recess continues, we also continue to bring you a review of some of the bills and motions deliberated upon by the Senate, as well as resolutions adopted. In this episode, we have some of these at plenary, amongst which was the passage of an Aeronautics University bill, as well as the decision taken by the Senate Committee on Ethics and Public Petitions investigating the allegation of assault against the chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, CCT. We also had an interview session with the committee chairman, Senator Ayo Akinyelure, who shed more light on the work of the Ethics Committee. Stay tuned for the details after the break. Don't go away.
The Senate to send a message to the President
to reap opportunities from that.
Today is a matter of urgent public importance, and we are aware that when this particular motion comes up for a longer term development, arise to second the motion.
Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Welcome back. One of the ingredients required to propel industrial development for economic growth of any community or indeed a country is constant and regular supply of electricity. In spite of this, the commodity is known to be in short supply, particularly in an area such as Okigwe in Imo State. Being the headquarters of Imo North Senatorial District of Imo State, this area has suffered poor supply of electricity over the years. It is to address this challenge that in 2003, Okigwe alongside Port Harcourt, Aba, Umuahia as well as the Enugu axis were earmarked each for the establishment of a 132/33 kVA power transmission substation by the Federal Ministry of Power. However, even when the ministry supervised and delivered the approved transmission line from Port Harcourt to Enugu, Okigwe was left out for the construction of an electricity substation. It was in the light of this that the senator representing Imo North Senatorial District, Senator Frank Chukuma Ibezim, before the ongoing recess, sponsored a motion titled, Urgent Need to Construct the Power Transmission Substation in Okigwe Local Government Area for Rapid Industrial Growth. He spoke on the consequence of the absence of the electricity supply facility.
This action has made electricity supply in Okigwe epileptic and placed it at the mercy of the districts that are its contemporaries. The absence of light and the approved power station has not only occasioned darkness and stunted general development, but engendered avoidable criminal activities, unemployment, and youth restiveness in the town.
With no debate taken on the motion, the following resolutions were adopted. Urge the Federal Ministry of Power to urgently effect the construction and completion of the already approved but abandoned Okigwe 132/33 kVA transmission substation, as well as urge the Federal Ministry of Power to upgrade the Okigwe power facility to a district station. Meanwhile, amongst the bills considered for third reading and passage before the recess was one seeking to establish a specialized institution, an aerospace university. It was titled University of Aerospace and Aeronautics or Akoko Ondo State Establishment Bill 2021 and sponsored by the Deputy Leader of the Senate, Senator Ajayi Borofies. After second reading, the bill was referred to the Committee on Tertiary Education and TED Fund for further legislative action. prominent amongst which was a public hearing. Having worked on the bill, the committee report was compiled and presented to Senate plenary Tuesday, the 22nd of June 2021. It was first of all laid and then presented by Senator Sandy Ono on behalf of the committee chairman, Senator Ahmad Babba Keita.
Number 1, the establishment of the University of Aerospace and Aeronautics in Oka Akoko, Ondo State, would certainly put an end to brain drain and human capital flight of Nigerians trained by the government in various aerospace colleges and universities around the globe. 2, establishing University of Aerospace and Aeronautics in Oka Akoko would go a long way in calibrating the spread of educational infrastructure or infrastructural needs of Nigerian people while balancing access to education among diverse demographics in the country and thereby closing the gap in knowledge, particularly in aerospace and aeronautics engineering.
Senator Ono added that when established, the university would be the first of its type in the West African sub-region, with the potential of wooing Africans and foreigners alike who wish to acquire advanced knowledge in research and exploration of scientific innovation in aerospace and aeronautics sciences. After a clause-by-clause consideration of the report in the Committee of the Whole, the bill was read the third time and passed.
A bill for an act to provide for the establishment of University of Aerospace and Aeronautics, Oka Akoko, and for matters of administration and discipline of students connected therewith 2021 third reading taken, and the bill is passed.
Also passed, this time at second reading, was a bill seeking the establishment of another specialized medical institution to cater for Nigerian children in Yala, Cross River State. Sponsored by Senator Stephen Ode, the bill was titled National Pediatric Center, Yala, Cross River State, Establishment Bill 2021. Presenting the bill, the sponsor quoted a 2019 World Data Atlas report on pediatric mortality in Nigeria, which reported an average occurrence of 117.2 deaths per 1,000 live births, describing it as disheartening, even as child mortality rate was seen to have fallen gradually from 281.4 deaths per 1,000 live births in 1970 to the 117.2 per 1,000 live births recorded in 2019. He then gave the objectives of the bill in view of the above-mentioned statistics.
The objective of this bill are to facilitate access to healthcare services to children who continually suffer health challenges due to dearth of affordable healthcare delivery. Provide facilities for diagnosis, curative, promotive, and rehabilitative services in medical treatment of children, and maintain and operate such clinics, outpatient departments, laboratories, research, or experimental stations and other like institutions necessary for the efficient pediatric health care delivery.
The bill was supported by senators who debated it.
Children are the most vulnerable group in society, and they require special care and handling. If this health institution is established, it will not only cater with the people in Cross River State or the South Zone, but rather the entire country. And if we establish this bill, it will go a long way in providing proper health care and prolonging the life of our children.
There are hardly world-class health institutions in the area, and it is even more so for children. And you know, the health of any grown man is fundamentally a function of how well he or she was attended to as a child. I therefore support this bill completely, more so because if you also dig into it, the statistical outlay is fundamental to understanding the reality that is being expressed here.
I want to commend the mover of this motion and support the need to cater for our children and to cater for them as close as possible to the point of their need.
With this, the bill was read a second time and referred to the Senate Committee on Health to report back as soon as possible. For now, let's open our notebook segment. Stand by for our topic of the week.
The rules guiding membership of Senate committees provide that each special and standing committee shall comprise of not less than 5 members and not more than 10 members, including the chairman and vice chairman. The rules also provide that no senator shall serve as a member of more than 3 committees, while committee chairmen shall not serve as members of more than 2 other committees. The rules, however, do not cover the selection committee, of which none of its members is allowed to be a committee chairman, but can serve as a member of other committees as provided for by the rules.
The only way out of the pandemic is for the population to observe the recommended measures advised by the NCDC. The Senate Committees on Health and Primary Health Care and Communicable Diseases will continue to engage with the Federal Ministry of Health and the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19.
Welcome back. In continuation of the exercise of its mandate as enshrined in the Senate Standing Rules, the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, Tuesday the 27th of July 2021, continued the investigation it started over a petition against the Chairman, Code of Conduct Tribunal, CCT, Mr. Lalladi Umar, on the allegation that he assaulted the petitioner, one Mr. Clement Sagwa.
Case on agenda today, that's the case of...
To kickstart the sitting, the committee chairman spoke on their mandate as a committee.
This committee mandated the Chairman Code of Conduct Tribunal to be available today to come and explain the rationale behind him going to court. He has sued the Senate, of Federal Republic of Nigeria, that we should stop hearing the case of this assault. But I believe as democratically elected representatives of the people in the legislature, I believe there are 3 arms of government: the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive arm of government of the Federation of Nigeria. And in the Constitution of the Federal Republic spelled out functions of each arm of government. I believe this committee represents the Ombudsman of the Senate, the Ombudsman of Nigeria in the legislature. This committee constituted in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has powers to hear petitions from Nigerians whose rights have been infringed upon. It protects an ordinary citizen who don't have the means to go to the law court to go and see redress. But what we come to see today is one arm of government usurping the powers of the other arm of government.
He then gave a historical background of the issue at stake as well as what transpired during the first appearance of the CCT chairman before the committee.
He seek the indulgence of this particular committee for him to go and study the petitions against him. And he sought the indulgence of this particular committee for him to be given time to go and study and respond back. So he asked for only 2 weeks. This committee, in its wisdom, granted him 3 weeks. Since then, the second hearing, we vetted him, he refused to come on the excuse that he was sick. Third hearing, we vetted him, he refused to come. The fourth hearing, that was what we had on 13th of this month, July. He came with bonus of petition. He now went back now to court.
He spoke further on the content of the writ of summons, amongst which was questioning the jurisdiction of the committee to entertain the matter, as well as the decision of the committee.
That we don't have constitutional power to hear cases of assault. That is a function of police and court. Immediately after the receipt of this particular notice of originating someone from the High Court of Lagos, High Court of Abuja judicial decision. I have written a letter through the committee of this, the secretary of this committee, to the Senate President, the Chairman of National Assembly, to go to court, to go and challenge this man that he has no right to stop the legislature from performing its constitutional functions. Since we can't hear his own side, there's no way we can write a report to the Senate on this particular matter. On that note, the committee hereby ruled that we will set aside this particular case, sine die, pending the determination of the case in court that Senate has a right to hear this case.
However, lawyer to the petitioner, Mr. Timzing Ramnap, saw the matter from a different perspective and urged the committee to continue action on the petition.
As far as we are concerned, the present document before this committee is not an order of any court to stop this committee or to stop the Senate from going ahead with the hearing of this matter. The only thing that can stop the Senate of this country from going on with this hearing is an order, a valid order of a court of competent jurisdiction, stating clearly that the Senate should stay proceedings pending the outcome of the determination of the substantive suit that they file. So therefore, the Senate still retains its constitutional powers to hear this matter.
But the chairman insisted that in the interim, the court order must be obeyed, and while awaiting that, the committee would make consultations with the relevant authorities.
We will make consultation based on what is before us, and then at the relevant time, we will take necessary steps based on the advice we get to ensure that that man present himself before this committee to tell us, to tell the whole Nigeria, his own part of the story.
Earlier, in an interview session with the committee chairman, Senator Ayo Akinyelure, he appealed to the Senate to provide more funding for the committee as the ombudsman of the Nigerian masses, particularly in view of the volume of petitions the committee receives each day.
On a daily basis, we receive more than 50 petitions every day from Nigerians. People whose rights have been infringed upon, who don't have money to hire SAN to seek redress in the court of law. We need funding to ensure that the expectations of Nigeria are met in this particular committee.
Recalling when he headed the committee in the 7th Senate, Senator Akinyelure stated that one of the agencies under the committee was the Public Complaint Commission. He gave a highlight on the poor condition they met it and actions taken to reposition it.
Then we met public complaint as a totally bulldog. Their primary responsibility as charged by the Constitution was never met. And I walked to Mr. Senate President. I said, come. I've studied the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Public Complaints Commission as the chief ombudsman of Nigeria must be given the right tools, environment for them to operate, to fight corruption at grassroots level.
The chairman also advocated more funding for the commission as well as the enhancement of staff emoluments in view of the task of fighting corruption at the grassroots level ahead of it.
A graduate there seeing less than 80,000 a month. So I am requesting in 2021-22 budget that Mr. President of the Senate should give special treatment to ensure that could complement achievement of the cardinal program of Mr. President to check corruptions at grassroots level by making appropriation adequate. For what? For public complaints commissions charged with resolution to check corruption at grassroots level. They have offices in 37 states of the Federation. They have no vehicle to move. have her poorly paid.
Even while being a senator from the opposition, Senator Ayo Akinyelure commended the Senate President Ahmed Lawan as well as President Muhammadu Buhari for working in synergy with the opposition to move Nigeria to greater heights.
I'm also commending the President of Nigeria today, President Muhammadu Buhari. On which behalf, the Senate President is working with those his colleagues, other 109 senators, to ensure that all good programs of the President are given accelerated passage. They call us opposition party, PDP. You can see when we enter that particular chamber, we work as Nigerians. Anything that be of interest of Nigerians, we work as it. When we go out to our video call, you can go play politics of parties. But the agenda of the Senate is to ensure that Nigeria move forward to greater heights of development under Ahmed Lawan.
He finally expressed the desire of the committee to see to the end of the issues before it as soon as possible. We will close the program as usual with our profile segment. Stay tuned for our Senator of the Week.
Senator Muhammad Adamu Aleru represents Kebbi Central Senatorial District under the APC. Born in Alero in Kebbi State, Senator Muhammad Adamu Aleru attended Town Planning Primary School in Alero for his first school leaving certificate and Government Secondary School Koko in Kebbi State for his West African School Certificate WASC in 1976. At the tertiary level, Senator Adamu Aleru did his undergraduate studies at the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Political Science in 1980. He worked briefly as an administrative officer at the College of Education, Sokoto in 1981 before joining the Nigerian Customs Service the same year. He served in the Customs till 1997, after which he resigned and went into private business. He joined politics in 1999, contested and won election as the governor of Kebbi State on the platform of the PDP, a position he served on for 2 terms from 1999 to 2007. He also won election to the Senate and served from June 2007 to March 2010 before taking an appointment as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory under President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, a position he held till March 2010 when former President Goodluck Jonathan became acting president. Again, he contested and won election to the Senate in the 2015 general elections on the platform of the APC. He now holds the position of Chairman, Senate Committee on Works, and a member of several other committees. His legislative interests include agricultural development for Nigeria to be self-sustaining in food production, overcoming the challenge of insecurity, and education, amongst other things.
With this, we come to the end of this week's episode of Inside the Senate. Join us next week for another episode. Thanks for watching and continue to observe the COVID-19 protocols and stay safe.